Hey there, guys. So today we have another review, and this is something I previously have done, a blind taste test. Actually, previously I did this, it was not blind, so that's why I'm doing it again. And what we have here is obviously the famous Heady Topper, #1 rated beer in the world, and Foley Brothers Fair Maiden, which is a relatively new double IPA from Vermont. And recently picked this up, and I have had it before and absolutely loved it. I'll link you guys to the previous review. I actually did slightly prefer the Foley Brothers, so actually let's see what happens with trying it again. Speaking about this beer, I actually got it at a supermarket, Hunger Mountain Co-op, and unfortunately they did not have a bottle date, but a little tip. Some supermarkets, you might see the price on the shelf, and there's information, like I guess the product code or whatever. And one of them is when when the sticker was printed, to put on the shelf. And so that I can't promise you that's how fresh the beer is, but hopefully that means that's when they put it on the shelf and printed out that label and put it on and put that label for you to see the price. And so hopefully that helps, And then also speaking about why I'm doing this with the paper cups is because I'm pretty sure the two beers have different colors. I don't specifically remember, but I imagine if I use a glass, I would be able to tell the two. Tell between the two, and unfortunately I do not have someone to help me out to sort of give me a blind taste test. But speaking about glasses, this is odorless, and shape-wise, hopefully these two should be relatively similar. I mean, a tasting glass should hopefully have a similar experience to these paper cups, so that's how I justify it. This one's for Heady Topper, this one's for Fair Maiden, and let's do this. Actually, probably should have poured and been mixing up while chatting with you guys, but that's fine. I'll just keep rambling on. What else do we have to talk about? Oh yeah, by the way, coming up will be my top beers of 2014. Hopefully, I think I'll only be doing 10, and then just throw on like a boatload of. I can really smell these beers. Anyway, that is a Fair Maiden, right? Yeah. Okay. So so I'll be doing a top 10 of 2015, and there will be a lot of honorable mentions. I've been making the list already, and there's so many awesome beers that I've had that it just seems wrong to not include so many of these amazing beers that I really want to give a shout out to. So yeah, hopefully that'll be coming in a week or two. Just went to an awesome tasting yesterday, so that's why I held back the top 10 list. A Mexican cake variant might make the list because of that. I actually had the 3 variants of Mexican cake that came out this year that were tequila, bourbon, and double barrel Mexican cake. That was awesome. But anyway, less about other stuff. Let's dig into these two beers. Wasn't paying attention. I was rambling on. I don't know which one's which now. Let's dig in this one. Wow. Wonderful kind of peachy kind of notes, but it's not as dripping as some other sweeter kind of double IPAs. Really peachy though. I also get a nice kind of like sweet orange, tangerine orange kind of zestiness, actually, yeah. Yep, there you go. Even a little bit of maybe this kind of honeyed malt or something. It's maybe a little bit floral. There's a little bit of sweetness behind here. So yeah, maybe honey, a floral honey, that kind of sweetness that you get. Wow, that's awesome. Maybe a hint of like a sweet pine too in the back. It's all a combination of sugary sweetness, honey, all that wonderful stuff. Cheers. Wow, that might be the Heady Topper. That's on a nose I usually get from Heady Topper, huh? In the front, lots of pink grapefruit peel, a little bit of this malty sweetness in the middle. Reasonably light on carbonation, actually pretty soft on the palate. Very soft on the palate. Again, a little bit of like candied sugar thing in the middle. Also, this kind of candied pine kind of thing, if that makes any sense. It's like slightly sugary, and it's not as green and aggressive as some other beers. It's like light and like a pine candy, if that's such a thing. What's that other note I got? Oh, green leaves. A lot of this kind of green leafy kind of thing, almost like chlorophyll. Not chlorophyll, but like just eating into green grass or green leaves. There's that like green kind of thing going on. I guess it is chlorophyll. A little bit of dank quality on the back. Decently bitter. I'd say medium bitterness on this one. I already think that's the Heady Topper, but let's get this one. Oh, wow. This one smells slightly different. And I might say this might be an old bottle, which is so disappointing. I just smell like not a big hop bomb, like a juicy hop bomb. I smell a little bit more of that oxidation, a little bit of kind of like sweet green leaves. And not in a good way like this one. This one's a bit more, again, oxidized. It's like sweet, malty, dying hop. So like, dried leaves, that kind of thing. But I get some candy sweetness. I get a little bit of grapefruit, even almost like a berry note, maybe a strawberry. Cheers. Yeah. Darn it. Yep. That is an old bottle, I assume. In the front. Nope. Yeah. Not getting much. It's just oxidized. I'm not getting much fruit flavor. It just tastes like dried leaves, cardboard kind of thing. Wow, this is a shadow of the beer that I had previously. Reasonably bitter. There's not much hop flavor going on. It's not much hop juiciness. It's just a little bit of grapefruit. But yeah, it's just hop water, and it just sort of goes away on the palate. Very disappointing. Definitely, I don't know how old that could be. I mean, it was sitting on an unrefrigerated shelf, but if it's a couple weeks fresh, it should be okay. I just imagine this bottle might just be really old. So anyway, this one should be the Heady Topper. This one should be an old bottle Fair Maiden. There we go. Yep, pretty easy to figure out. That's disappointing. Sorry, guys, if I was not able to bring you guys a proper battle beers between these two. I'll link you guys to the previous review, and you can sort of see how impressive Foley Brothers Fair Maiden is. And that sucks. But, I mean, it also does sort of go to show that this beer just sat on the shelf, which is quite offensive in my mind. Everyone was hunting down for a Heady Topper, and it's an amazing beer. I mean, this is just freaking amazing, and it's such a great value at four 16-ounce cans for $13 to $15. But if you're unable to find it and unable to hunt it down, people should be buying Foley Brothers. I was at multiple stores, and I just saw lots of bottles of this. Granted, the value is not as good. This bottle's around, I think, $10. But if you can't find Heady Topper, please buy this, and make sure it's fresh, though, obviously. It's a shame that so much sat on the shelf that I assumed it was fresh. So much sat on the shelf, and I picked it up, and unfortunately, it's not great. Man. And so I guess it also goes to show you that my label, supermarket label trick might not be great. Maybe they had older bottles. They might have combined a new shipment of bottles with older bottles that out of the case that I picked out. So maybe that happened. Maybe they put the older bottles up to the top, and then the fresher bottles were laid at the bottom where I didn't get them. But anyway, this is not a proper review. Heady Topper is still awesome. Drinks like Heady Topper. Actually, I will say I feel like the beer is slightly softer. I just picked this up. They just got the shipment. And it tastes a little bit more candy-like, a little bit more sweet. And maybe that's just the evolution of the beer. Or maybe that's just my palate today. But it certainly does taste like Heady Topper. And it certainly is quite awesome. So until next time, guys, cheers. Later.